Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I will be discussing why people use the word talent so much and why I think being talented is just not enough. I was looking back on my art now versus 7 years ago, and I was reminded that you don't have to be gifted at an early age to do what you love. Just because you can't even draw a stick figure doesn't mean that you can't one day be a great artist. Honestly, when I first started drawing 7 years ago, I was so convinced that I was really great at drawing. Looking back at my so called beautiful portraits, I realized that I'm really glad I refined my skill and got better. There's always room for growth, even if you can't feel it or see it in the moment. It wasn't talent I had, it was an overwhelming desire to want to express myself and incredible determination. So, talent is not all there is to achievement. We are so distracted by the word talented that we're really undermining those that have been called talented. You can have a natural inclination, be really good at something, and be highly intelligent, but if you lack grit, then all of that is not sustainable or inevitably gets squandered. I'm becoming less and less convinced that talent was destiny and more intrigued by the returns generated by effort. High achievers are remarkable in three ways. They demonstrate unusual ability in combination with exceptional zeal and the capacity for hard labor. So, why do we place such an emphasis on talent? And why fixate on the extreme limits of what we might do when in fact most of us are at the very beginning journey, so far, far away from those outer bounds? And why do we assume that it's our talent rather than effort that will decide where we will end up in the long run? So, the naturalness bias is a hidden prejudice against those who've achieved what they have because they worked for it, and a hidden preference for those whom we think arrived at their place in life because they're just naturally talented. We may not admit to others this bias for naturals. We may not even admit it to ourselves, but the bias is evident in the choices that we make. In the most general sense, talent is the sum of a person's abilities, his or her intrinsic gifts, skills, knowledge, experience, intelligence, judgment, attitude, character, and drive. It also includes his or her ability to learn and grow. And it doesn't surprise me that intrinsic gifts are mentioned first. By shining our spotlight on talent, we risk leaving everything else in the shadows. We inadvertently send the message that these other factors, including grit, don't matter as much as they really do. The focus on talent distracts us from something that is at least as important, and that is effort. If you had a time-lapse film of the hours, days, weeks, or even years that produced excellence, you can see that a high level of performance is in fact an accretion of mundane acts. But does this incremental mastery of mundane individual components explain everything? We all love mastery in magic. So it's easy to sum up your expertise as just plain talent. Even the famous philosopher Nietzsche wrote, "We do not ask how it came to be. Instead, we rejoice in the present fact as though it came out of the ground by magic." Nietzsche also said that great things are accomplished by those whose thinking is active in one direction, who employ everything as material, who always zealously observes their own inner life and that of others, who perceive everywhere models and incentives, who never tire of combining together the means available to them. In other words, because they took more pleasure in making the little secondary things better than the effect of a dazzling whole. Talent is just how quickly your skills improve when you invest effort. Talent times effort equals skill, and skill times effort equals achievement. So, talent is how quickly your skills improve when you invest effort. Achievement is what happens when you take your acquired skills and use them. Of course, your opportunities, for example, having a great teacher or coach, matter tremendously too. My theory doesn't address the outside forces, nor does it include luck. It's just about the psychology of achievement. But because psychology isn't all that matters, it's incomplete. Still, I think it's useful. What this theory says is that when you consider individuals in identical circumstances, what each achieves depends on just two things: talent and effort. Talent is how fast we improve in skill, and that absolutely matters. But effort factors into the calculations twice, not once. Effort builds skill. At the very same time, effort makes skill productive. Let me know in the comments if that gave you any insights on the subject of talent and what you think about talent and skill. Thank you so much for joining me in my studio. For more videos every month where I share my insights and art process, don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Be well, my friends. Stay beautiful.